Hey guys, welcome back to the another video tutorial of the Android application development. In the previous article, I have described overall about the Android activity. So now you know the basic fundamental of the activity, how it look like, structure of an activity, and a little about the Android manifest file that holds the number of information regarding our Android application. Now we begin to the next stage where the Android activity lifecycle comes into the picture. It describes the stages, or we can say a different passes through which a single activity live its own life. So let's begin with this one. The base class of an activity is defined series of an event, that is what the app compat activity, which will define the series of an events that governs the life cycle of an activity. The following are the events that a single activity lives in its own life. So first method is the onCreate method, that is called when the activity is first created. So you can use this onCreate method to create or instantiate the objects that you will be going to use in your Android application. Then after, the onStart method is there, which will be called when the activity becomes visible to the user. So first method is the onCreate, which will represent the UI of the particular activity, and the onStart method will be called when the activities becomes visible to the end user. Then the onResume method is there, which will be called when the activity starts interacting with the user. So when the user is interacting with our Android application, that is what the onResume method is ongoing on. So you can use this method to start any service or the code that needs to run while your activity is in the foreground. So you can write any code snippet, or you can start any service which required to run or execute when your activity is being visible or the user is interacting with your activity. And also you can fetch back the resources that you have stored for your Android application while posing it before. So you can also store back your particular resources or the data of your data regarding your Android application when your activity is being resumed. So that is what the onResume method. Now onPause method is there, which will be called when the current activity is being paused and the previous activity is being resumed. So when your current activity is gone to the background and your previous activity comes to the foreground, then the activity which is going to the background will call the onPause activity of its own. So you can use this method to stop any service, or you can use this method to stop any service or code that does not need to run when your application is not in the foreground. So your application is moving to the background, so you can use this method to store any kind of a data in your of your Android application when it goes to the background state. Then the onStop method is there, which will be called when the activity is no longer visible to the user. So when the user is not viewing the UI of our Android activity, that is what the onStop method is being called. Then after, the onDestroy method is there, which will be called before the activity is being destroyed by the system, either manually or by the system to conserve the memory. So you can use this method to free up the resources before your activity is destroyed that are held by your Android applications. That is what the onDestroy method. Then the onRestart method is there, which will be called when the activity has been stopped and it's restarting again. So by default, the activity created for you contain the onCreate event, that is what we have seen at the first time. So whenever you will create an activity, you will get this method already built up with the help of the IDE. So by default, the onCreate method is there in your Android application code. So within this event, the handler is the code that helps to display the UI element of your screen at the time when you open your Android application. So that is what the onCreate method. You will execute this application. Now just wait for the few seconds while the Gradle is running these scripts. And okay, now emulator has been started. Okay, so this is what our Android application that we have created, and this is where the activity is there. So now it has already pop up something. When I will click this back, we can see from the beginning that when I am opening my Android application, that layout demo is there, then the activity is started, activity is resumed, then the resume method is called. So activity is created, it has been started, and it has been resumed. So now user is interacting with this particular thing. So now if I will create I will go directly to the home, then what it will do, it will pause the activity, then it will stop the activity, but the activity is not destroyed. So it is running in the background. You can check it over here, the running tasks are there. So when I will again resume it, then it will, the activity is restarted, the activity is started, and now the activity is resumed instead of start. So that is what, how it will do the resume and the restart. Now if I will directly go back from over here, so activity is paused, next the activity is stopped, and now the activity will be destroyed. So this is how the activity or the activity life cycle will free up the resources from the system memory. So this is what the activity life cycle, Android activity life cycle, from the different methods, or you can say the different events. So till now this is what about the Android activity life cycle. So thanks for watching this video, and you can subscribe to my channel to get the more about the Android application development. Thank you very much.